afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host Imperial Dane, Master of Propaganda, who looks like Defender of the Fatherland. Off here to an exciting 1 vs 1 on Faymonville approach. Between the south, we got here Smiley fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland, taking on the role here of the 116th Panzer Division Windhund versus in the west, we got Reck fighting for King and Country, the Commonwealth, the 11th Armored Division. And a big thanks to Dion for donating and supporting the Propagandacast. Most appreciated, Dion. You allow me to do this on a daily basis along with all those who support me on Patreon. And if you like what I do consider donating or pledging on Patreon. Links in the video description. As I do try to do this for a living and everything that helps. Also, if I do sort of miss details or slip up or just sort of sound a bit off, that's because, well, I sort of got a really nasty cold, which is as colds I want to do when they comes to me. It hits me in a really unpleasant place. In this case, it's hitting my jaw, which is causing me severe toothaches while I'm trying to sleep. Well, at least it did one last night. So I've only gotten about roughly 1 hour sleep with a 2-hour nap. So I'm a bit depleted here, but of course I'm going to do my duty for the fatherland and my viewers. So obviously here episode going up, but just a heads up, if I'm not quite sounding fully on top there, that's why. And trust me, an entire night where you're just sort of suffering silently because the toothache is not particularly fun. And again, note, caused by a cold. The teeth are fine, it's the cold that's causing it. Anyways, we got Reck going for the center with an MD42 section. We also got Barbados Mechanized Assault, Ostrom Spearhead versus Rolling Engineer, Vanguard, and Mobile Assault, Double Machine Gun Grenadiers for Smiley here. Interesting build there. It's more defensive in sort of opening here. On the hand, of course, it allows him in case his opponent goes for heavy infantry sections or more, well, counter it if he plays it correctly, because machine guns base sort of locks them down. But he's going for double Vickers, which tend to just sort of beat the MD42. So, a bit interesting to see if they've actually been playing against each other sort of recently, and in that regard, they are trying to adapt to each other's tactics. It's hard to say here, because both players are basically sort of aiming for the, well, definitely less than usual builds for each army. The less than usual build. We've got a mortar following up here for Smiley, so only one Grenadier squad. He seems to sort of be digging in around the northern half for now of the map. That's Reckoner slowly approaching, grabbing a point there. Mortar halfway done. Take up there for Reckoner on the 11th Armoured Division. They're going for holding back the section, slowly suppressing, not quite pulling it off in this case. M14 northward, so it's going to try and sort of hold off the area around here, making it harder for Reckoner to then sort of sweep through here and sort of hit the points there, sort of sneak up behind. Basically sort of creating a cordon that way. Tag up for Smiley with again only one Grenadier squad. Grenadier securing the territory there. So some very slow opening moves from either side. The Reckoner is clearly setting up for something there with mobile assault. That means flamethrowers for sappers, commandos, advanced covered combat, and of course land mattresses amongst other things. There we go, the first sapper section, now probably equipped with a flamethrower. We shall have to see how it tries to sort of assail here Smiley's position. Note, this machine gun does have a few blinds, but I mean essentially if the opponent sort of sneak up through here, maybe, particularly up here, that's pretty much a big blind spot for the machine gun crew if not careful. I mean that one can be easily swept away, so should probably consider pulling it back or augmenting with some S-mines here and there to make it harder to assault. The South Pioneers playing through in the center, going to push it. There we go, machine gun firing. Couldn't smoke it or just mortar it. In this case, it's just regular mortar fire. Sappers arriving, and there you go, flamethrowers on the way there. Reckoner setting up there to bring a reckoning for Smiley. And the South Pioneers moving in there. So Smiley, as soon as you sort of feel like he's secured his northern front, essentially begins to push through the south and the center. So an interesting opening there for Smiley, certainly. Just, first secure, then push. We'll have to see how successful it is so far here. Meanwhile, Reckoner bring up more sappers. So two sections, two sappers and two Vickers. Up here, MD4 holding back the section in each position because, again, there are significant blind spots in this one's arc of fire. And there's more support getting ready to push for the centre again. But looks in the South Pioneers holding up the British. We've got a Vickers moving down there, having been ousted there. And there goes sappers trying to hit the machine gun without, any bait for the machine gun. This assault did not quite work out there for Reckoner. It's how that is going to need smoke. Problem is he doesn't have a mortar plate, not with any amount of veterans here, in which case he's going for the mortar plate. He doesn't need the smoke to just blast the machine gun out. In the south there, Pioneers team with a section there. In the centre, Grenadiers moving up with light machine guns mortar, so you have to have the tech up. We get to utilise the Vickers setting up there. It's going to take a lot of fire there from Smiley. And there you go. Rough grenades are plenty there. Gets a few kills there. Takes out half the machine gun team in total. Up north, there we go. Sapper trying to attack machine gun head on. Vickers setting up his base, using the Sappers as bait, allowing the Vickers then to engage the MG42, which would give him the advantage since the Vickers basically outdoes the MG42 in damage quite severely. As you might notice, in fact, it's very quickly taking down the machine gun crew here close to half health. Sappers bombing from the north, so again, you sort of see the weakness here of the setup there by Smiley in the north. I mean, it works if so your opponent just sends in small probing attacks, but if your opponent launches a large-scale assault, it's simply going to get pushed off. Would like to make a nice comeback for Smiley. Could have briefly looked like they maybe a trap push for tier 3, but in the end, does not. And there he goes, setting up for a big assault against the machine gun here. Could attack from several sides with Sappers. He's laying down mines instead. Baker's grabbing territory, but now we can see sort of things are getting a bit hotter here for Smiley. He's struggling a bit more now with the amount of territory there and the amount of angles that Reckon is attacking from. That's definitely a bit of a problem there for Smiley and the German army, the 116th. Up north, 6 pound going around there for Reckoner and the British army as they keep just pushing and outmaneuvering Smiley here in the north. As he now is intent on grabbing the centre, it seems, but he's having minimal luck. I mean, one option he could have considered instead of just taking head on here, he could have tried using his northern hold, sort of swing through here and then sort of get behind that way. Of course, that would put him dangerously close to the enemy position. Sometimes, I mean, units can get cut off by the base machine guns. Sappers creeping about there. Section falling back. Bunker up there for Smiley to provide here healing there. Gonna do this versus the section. And pushed away. Medic bunker almost done. They're gonna do this, they're definitely needing it. Section healing up the machine gun there as well. Good work there by Reckoner. Good work. As what Smiley's planning it, Panzer gonna do is maybe 2-2s could work. Half that could give him some mobility, particularly with Panzer sort of swarm through. Oh, so not swarm, but sort of hit through. Got the Panzer gonna do is no doctrinal choice for Smiley. Certainly Ostrom is out, I think, at this stage, so he couldn't interfere sort of back tech for it. That would be a bit weird. Mechanist assault, maybe, or Spearhead, certainly seem likely. Both opening up for a Tiger tank in the late game. You also got mines down there from Mechanist. Good work. Very good work. But right now, Smiley and the 116th Panzer Division Windhoek is very much in the defense here versus Reckoner. Panzer going to do it almost done for Smiley. As for the British, they can actually begin taking up order here from medium armor and pushing that out pretty fast and aggressive versus the Germans, particularly with the map control there. Once he has it out, they could actually push for a pretty fast Centaur or Cromwell versus Smiley, and that would definitely, I think, put Smiley in a very uncomfortable position. Also setting up a mortar placement here to further make it harder for Smiley to attack through the centre of the map, basically covering a fat chunk of the map there. Though, of course, it is likely to defend it, theoretical sort of raid, maybe with some light vehicles, they could take it down. Like, say, a pair of 2-2s rushing it. Maybe with the diversion and assault in the north could do the trick. But right now, though, he is very short on territory. He's barely got anything. He's just getting the fuel, and that's about it, really. So, Reckoner's got a fat lead. Very fat lead. And there you go, mortar placement ready. Gonna do so. That's going to find themselves under intense fire. There you go, half the squad gone in the blink of an eye to British mortar fire. In the centre there, assault not much making progress. In the north there, slow approach here. He's mortaring. He could have smoked, just rush up the pants. He should have maybe tried to, get a bun grenade off there. Manpower being floated. Let's see what happens next. Section of going to do is there. As for Reckoner, getting very close to being able to tag up. We'll have to see if he does do it though. I mean, the faster he can get it out, then of course push for armor, the better here versus Smiley, because the longer he waits, the more chance Smiley has a chance to stabilise, but also bring up stuff to maybe counter any armor or even push out his own tanks. Though so far it's looking less likely when Reckoner's getting 32 fuel per minute and he's only getting 20. Punches moving through there. Mortify then the machine gun is the suspected position. This is also again where smoke can be handy, because then even if the machine gun's positioned, sometimes the smoke though cannot be. But in this case, Panzer gun is sort of sweeping through the flank there. Pays off for Smiley and the 116th Panzer Division. Mine's going down there. Reckoner is trying to take advantage of this map control there to make it harder for Smiley to push through. Good, though. Could have paced, I think, had the mines up a bit more. For example, here, or there would be a much better position. In theory, this would help with, more of a breakthrough attempt by Smiley. Pack 40 following up there. Smiley under no illusions as to how the armor situation is looking. And we can see here that Reckoner is finally pushing ahead there for armor. He's getting his company command post there up. And we'll be able to push out for tanks pretty fast afterwards. More mines here. Interesting, he's sort of laying up a very sort of defensive mine belt here. It's almost like he's expecting to lose this soon and just is preparing fallback positions already. I mean, in that regard, you know, having fallback positions is not a bad idea, but, you know, making it, you know, a bit hard for the opponent to push back to this in the first place would also be beneficial. They're certainly interesting, though, nonetheless, to note there from Reck. Germany, they're pushing through. They're sweeping back the north. Pack 40 arriving, probably going to be sent into the north as well. He could consider taking out now and sort of pushing for a Stug, because he's definitely not needed here. Sabas almost wiped out these with Carnot TK slap machines. There we go. Vicker setting up there. That's going to pretty much break Smiley's northern assault there, unless it gets the smoke screen down fast enough. Which does not look to be the case. He at least saves 2 of the infantry squads there, but can't push further onwards. His advance stalled by the Vicker's machine gun. There we go. Cromwell taking on the way there for Reckon and the 11th Armoured Division. Also Smiley down to 240, in fact less than that now in terms of victory points, while his opponent's got 500. S-Mines being laid down here. Though he should definitely also consider Telemines, because he's going to get hit by tanks. And he needs everything he can to sort of stop and stall them, making it easy for the Pack 4 to deal with them. Going for a very deep flank there. Very nice. Oh, Rifle here could be quite nice. Looks like he's Smiley or Reckon sees through here his move. Well, apparently Reckon hadn't, or Smiley hadn't thought about it. Oh. Close. Looks like something went wrong. Looks like a Rifle was being set up, but didn't quite go off. Yeah, it's well, he keeps moving. You know, that was, of course, giving out orders there. But there you go. Finally went off, in this case too late. Cromwell arriving here. No Telemines up. Only the Pack 40, which is way down here. It's not going to be able to get up there fast enough. In fact, that could mean his S-Mine field is quickly being swept out by the Cromwell. Needs to get the Pack 40 up there. Schnell. And he also needs to take out Schnell. Emphasis on Schnell. There you go. Tag up going on there for Smiley and the 116th Panzer Division Vinhund. Pack 40 there being carted forwards. S-Mine field there being cleared by the Cromwell. Good Lord, Jeremy, it's quite a bumpy ride. Drive more carefully, would you? Take up happening there. Ooh, almost got the machine gun there with the Cromwell. 6 kills so far for King and Country. Pack 4 struggling here with a clear line of fire due to the spot of trees there. And machine gun coming in the centre here, making it harder for the gunners to push for the victory point there. He's certainly trying to diversify his front lines again, sort of trying to force Reckon to maybe sort of switch forces down to deal with that, which is not a bad idea. MB42 being pushed out. Could risk being wiped here by the Cromwell. That'd be a big loss there for Smiley and the German army. Still no doctrine from him though. Still no doctrine. There's a definite absence of doctrines. Big push here from Reckon having cleared the house. It is now open to him to sort of turn against Smiley, putting more pressure on the fuel point. The German army here is certainly struggling. In this case, Reckon does not use the house, pushes the machine gun out in the open, making it easy target for the machine gun, who's lacking other infantry to be able to sort of punish it really heavily. So his fuel point there is being flattened. They almost got the machine gun. Cut-off point they were claimed by the British, and the South Pioneers could try and move ahead, but they really should build the Sapoma as fast as possible and then push for a Stug. In fact, once he gets it up, he can actually push for it pretty fast. Of course, he might feel more tempted to go for the Panzer IV, since they'll be able to challenge the Cromwell, but also deal with infantry. Of course, the Stug is just better versus the armour. They're reasonably useful as the infantry if you know how to handle it. Of course, not even remotely on the level of, say, a Panzer IV and Austrian versus infantry, but I mean, sort of decent actually. In particular, you get a pair of Stugs out of machine guns to go deal with. There we go, infiltration commanders arriving here. Panzer gun to cover the flank there. Commanders out there with their silenced end guns getting gutted there by the Panzer Grenadier, their Sturmgewehrs, trumping British stuff. Grenadiers out kind of bad spot there for retreat. Pushing's like a bit much there. So Polmacore going up, and he'll be able to get out Panzer IV as soon as it is done. If he does want that, of course, he could aim for the Sturmgeschütz 3. Ausführung G. Grenadiers, MD42 moving ahead at troops reinforcing. So Polmacore done, and in just a few seconds you can then push for the Panzer IV, which seems to be his plan. Panzerkampfwagen 4. Achtung Panzer. There we go. Could shift the mortar a bit further forward. It's going to loosening in MD4 to up to cover. Smiley once more trying to push an offensive line here versus Reckoner. We should probably want to grab some of the northern territory. We can see the Reckoner sitting with the big assault this section, sappers, commandos, Vickers. And even as this is happening, going on, of course, the Germans are trying to gain the centre, but it is encountering serious resistance, and of course, the mortar emplacement is going to make it really difficult. In theory, though, he hasn't mined the south at all, so again, he's only laid down a sort of small series of mines here, which means the southern push the mortar emplacement could take it out. If that is what Smiley aims for, though, Smiley has still yet to go for doctrine. Bren guns up there for Reckoner. Troops are first pushed back, moving up there. Machine gun coming the north, Panzer gun nearby, plus the Pioneers. Panzer Kampfwagen Viereck effects for the German army. Workhorse of the German Panzerwaffe. They're not the backbone, that would have been the Stug, though technically it belonged to the artillery. It was very much the backbone. Also, fun fact, in fact, almost as many Panzer IVs built throughout the war as they built Stugs. And had it not been for Stug factory production taking hits, they would also be able to make more Panzer IVs, but they had to stop making some Panzer IVs because they had to make Stug 4s to compensate for Stug losses, or Stug production losses specifically. So fun facts there. Crom, they're going straight for the Panzer IV here. Panzer IV not within range. We got the 6-pounder gun supporting as well. The Crom, there we go, good hit. Panzer IV down to half health already. That is not going to bode well there for future engagements unless we get it fixed up fast. It's only got one Pioneer squad. In the meanwhile, Reckoner and the British Army pushing for more Cromwells, which is only going to put more pressure on Smiley and the 1 and 16th Panzer Division. But there you go, 6-pounder gun being caught out in the open. Gunneers couldn't wipe it. That'll definitely be a small victory there for Smiley. If you particularly could steal it away there from Reckoner, that would be helpful. That would give another anti-tank weapon, which would make it harder for Reckoner to use his tanks freely. But he should definitely prioritise repairing the tank, and if possible now, he should prioritise securing the anti-tank gun, but that's already a bit too late there. North, the Crom presenting a thorn here in Smiley's side. Smiley throwing a bit of manpower, could consider some additional Panzer gunner dealer, support weapons, pack 40s could be helpful. Mine went off, and there you go, second Cromwell out here for Reckoner. Fun fact, they sort of had a Firefly-ish version of the Cromwell that technically was basically Cromwell chassis that was made bigger, but basically known as the A38 Challenger. Had a 17-pounder gun and sort of a Cromwell-looking tank, though again, technically not the same chassis, just made large to actually fit the gun. Usually were meant to sort of serve with Cromwell units, of course the Fireflies worked as well. Note here, he's actually upgraded his commandos with Bren guns, that's a very nasty combo there. And thing is about commandos, they're the only infantry unit in the game that can fire any light machine gun on the move. So they pick a light machine, LMG-42, they can fire on the move. MG-34, fire on the move. Browning light machine gun, fire on the move. Again, Bren guns, fire on the move. No other infantry unit can do that. This is certainly a bit interesting to know. Also a fun fact about British Commandos, the American Rangers were based, I believe, on the British Commandos that received training from them. So that's a little fun fact there as well. Pack 40 on then the Cromwell, there you go, Panzer fast off. Could get a Cromwell there, could get a Cromwell, definitely a victory there for Smiley and the German army, and a loss here for Reck. This is the most veteran one, but right here though, he's pushing the Panzer quite aggressively ahead there. And there's still the other Cromwell about there, shot bounces. Needs to get the Pack 40 up there, shot bounced. Oh, he might now lose the Panzer instead. Oh, pulled behind in the terrain. Obscuring it from the line of sight to the Cromwells, and they can't pursue on that. There's more infantry moving in there with snares, and we got a second Pack 40 out there as well for Smiley and the German army. There you go, commandos flanking up behind there, threatening the flank here and the support weapons. There you go, Bren guns tearing through the pack gunners. Very nice flank there by Reckoner. We got panzers moving in there trying to sweep other commanders. Of course, there you go, light gun bomb, and almost wiped. Oh, he gets a wipe there. Big loss for Smiley and the German army. Commanders, there, of course, lethal as always. Grenadiers need to retreat. Pack 4 there. Oh, he's going to go straight for the Panzer IV. Panzer IV down. More infantry getting ready to push through as they make more gaps. And there goes smokescreen from the crumble, preventing the Pack 40 from firing easily. Good work there by Reckoner. A decisive and crippling blow there to Smiley, who still has yet to use a doctrine. Need to retreat the Grenadiers here. This is pretty bad for the Germans. This is pretty bad. Going for an Ostman now in particular seems a bit of a curious choice. I mean, I suppose if you can sort of hurt the infantry badly enough, it might pay off. But the problem is his opponent still got two crumbles out there. But he does commit to it and goes for another Pack 40. So that is an interesting choice there by Smiley. He now prioritising just murdering the infantry, depriving the tanks of support. Very risky there, very risky. It's going to require some really good tactics and strategy here to really pull that one off. We'll have to see though if he can. I mean, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but it's definitely making things harder for yourself. It's definitely making things harder for yourself. Okay, pulled off successfully though, it's going to have quite an impact, but it's not going to be easy by a long shot. Not with two tanks about. I mean, if we didn't have the two tanks, the Ostman would be a great choice, but with two tanks about there, the Ostman is a lot more of a risky choice. But again, utilized well, the Ostman can be quite damaging to the infantry, and it might be in particularly nice down to a Grenadier squad that Smiley's just going to try and sort of gain an edge and sort of try to push back against Reckoner. So we'll have to see how much that's going to work out, but he's going to need more infantry because one infantry squad is just not going to cut it. Not remotely. Also got the land matches joining in there. Victory points wise is down to 175 versus Reckoner's 420, 419. Ostman rolling in, threatening to crash infantry even. You should stop it up though. Remember, the Ostman takes a 50% hit or penalty to hitting when it moves. Most German army in fact does. But there you go. Almost got the two sections. He got a wipe there. That would certainly been a big victory for Smiley in terms of just slowing down Reckoner's map control a bit there in the south though. Pioneers moving in, and we finally got a doctrinal choice there from Smiley. It is Ostrom. A 22-minute choice of Ostrom that is not something you see every day at all. Like, most players will not choose Ostrom here, simply because it's more of an early game doctrine. But I suppose he just wants cheap infantry to somehow fill up the gap to secure weapons. I mean, Ostrom here could work, I guess, but it's just really unprecedented almost. It is a highly unusual move, and it's definitely not something I'd recommend to, like, the newer player. But Smiley's committing to it. I mean, he's definitely not playing by the meta anymore. He is not playing by the meta. We're no longer in Kansas, Toto. Ostman there with 6 kills. And we get the Ostman that secured the vehicles. That actually pretty handy there for Smiley and the 116th Panzer Division Winhund. Troops going territory there. We got a big push into the south. Pioneers need to retreat. A lot of Bren gunfire there. He's probably hoping for sort of just a blob strike there, wiping a unit. If you sort of amass a lot of light machine guns in space, just increase your chance of wiping a unit on retreat. Which is basically where the Allies tend to have an advantage to the British, because they can just, add several Bren guns to a single section. Whereas the Germans are prevented from just adding a lot of light machine guns to their infantry squad, so that makes it in that sense a bit harder. But there you go, Vic is secured here for Smiley. Got the land matches unleashing hell there upon the German positions, trying to catch them in around here the base. As the infantry pushing in, but there you go, they're going to change to the Ostman. The tanks are not supporting, it's actually repairing them both still, so that actually gives Smiley's Ostman a lot of strength, because if it goes uncontested again on the front line, it can just harm Reckoner's infantry badly. So I'm surprised he's actually not prioritising more getting the tanks back in action, just pushing back against the opponent. Could even just use vehicle crew repairs, but just having the tanks so far on away from the battlefield for so long, it feels like a definite tactical error by Reckoner. And it's sending one here that Smiley's saying advantage. He's even calling artillery here. Sneaky. But it's not going to have much of an impact, just forcing the machine gun to pull away, giving more freedom for the infantry on the front line. Cromwell through the south there. Mines moving in. But a Stug on the way to help deal with armor. Not a bad choice. Cromwell got hit from the south here. Very good work. Flanking the Ostman. Sexton being caught out here by the Ostman. Taking some damage. And some kills. Pack 4 taking back to deal here with the advancing Cromwell. Nice shot. Triple pack 40s. That's a lot of pack 40. As for Reckoner, he's going for hammer tactics. That could mean comets. That's only going to put some more pressure there on Smiley. A right nice Cromwell's feeling the heat there from the packs. Then again, so it's the Ostman from the Cromwell. Stug packs just a big old panzer hunt there from the Germans. And there you go, Cromwell just gets pummeled. No chance of survival there. He should have pulled it back farther from the front line. But he probably wasn't anticipating Smiley just to go in with everything against it. I want every Panzerjäger to take out Set Cromwell. Now! But I'm a Maschinengewehr crew. You're a Panzerjäger now. Shoot at it properly. But how? Just do it, man. Cromwell there falling past the wreckage of its burning comrade. A faint smell of too much boiled tea there emanating from the tank. Good lord, such a tragedy. So much good tea wasted. What about the men inside? Well, they're expendable. The tea is not. Stug heavily damaged there. Mine went off. Good work. And we got more pioneers on the way there for Smiley to help repairs tanks. That's definitely a good move as well. We can see that Smiley's actually able to gain back some of the map here versus Reckoner. Surprisingly to an extent there, but some good use of support weapons and other bits that's allowed him to slowly push back the frontage. The Ostman has also proven to be reasonably helpful in some ways. Noting here, by the way, double land matches from Reckoner. I definitely feel like that might be overreaching a bit. You know, should maybe push for comets faster. But of course, you sort of feel like he's gotten Smiley in a situation where the land match can do some serious damage, and obviously he should go for it, but we'll have to see if it actually proves to be a worthwhile decision. Northern points being secured, Baker saying about here. Section taking north into a poorly prepared squad of Osthuben. Mortar continuing to laying down some supporting fire there to help secure the north somewhat versus light infantry sorts of mines going down there from Reckon. He's actually got a ton of munitions. He could be laying down a lot of mines. Commanders hanging about. It seems like he actually has used the commanders a bit while there, but there you go. Ostman has the Cromwell. Eventually 2 need to pull back the Ostman, which is only now eventually 1. What is he planning here? Panzer 4 more Stug. Ostman there almost taken out, but he gets away there with a Blitzkrieg. Also known in this case as the Italian Jitterbug, because he's moving away from the enemy. And then South Pioneers moving in. Heavy pack fire there versus the Cromwell, and we got a smoke screen down here. The pack front from Smiley does the job and repulses the enemy tank. The pack front was a sort of initially German tactic, though the Russian tactic caught on to it pretty quickly. Basically involved subordinating all anti-tank guns and all anti-tank gun detachment to a single commander with then designated targets beforehand, so they could then sort of in one just devastating volley unleash hell, taking out tanks that way, minimizing incoming fire. Because the thing about anti-tank guns, which the game does not reflect very well, is once it was spotted by a tank, their chances of survival dropped extremely fast. Like they tended to just get one shot. I mean, a direct hit from a tank shell in most cases just destroy an anti-tank gun. I mean, you sort of read any reports from the tank gunners. Again, like I mean, they'll report a lot of anti-tank gun kills because again, if they spot them, they're easy targets. The problem is again, anti-tank gun initially is just a harder target to spot. If it gets in the first hit, it wins. So some fun facts there about that. Fun facts. Panzer 4 on the way there for Smiley. Panzerkampfwagen 4. You still should get some wind from Cheerfield. Stu could also slightly benefit from light machine guns. Reckon it continues to float a lot of munitions, not I think lay down a sufficient number of mines for my tastes. Slowly advancing his front a bit, going back the machine gun there, which was lost to the dastardly Tommies. Crawling northwards, coming away there for Reckoner. Comet, cruiser tank. This guy needs a pack 40 up. There's some scoops to help deal with the Comet. Command sneak through there, pushing back the Ostrom needs to switch in everything he can, I think, there to make any sort of serious gains. Panther 4 arriving. And machine gun there about to get wiped. He actually got 2 machine guns carrying here. I feel that's a bit excessive. I mean, if he's just going to leave a machine gun in particular on that angle, he might as well just go for machine gun bunker. As that would be a lot safer from just being flanked like that. There you go. Panther Force Duke. Osman heading northwards there. And the tank gun wipe. That's going to be a bit of a blow there. Need to cover the Pack 40s. I guess he's leaving the job into the Panther 4. Maybe the Osman to deal with the commandos. Pack 40, Panther 4, Stu machine gun there, almost being wiped up. But there you go, good hit on the Cromwell, pushing him back down to half health already. Ostrom Punishment could try and steal the 6-pounder gun, deny it to Reckoner. That would mean he has got an awful lot of anti-tank guns now, just sort of hanging about. He seems to have lost one somewhere. Probably to some artillery. Mortar got wiped by the land matches. Comet out here for Reckoner. And we got more Ostrom now for Smiley, 6-pounder gun recruit. Section out now, that's the Ostrom taking hits. Also noting Smiley's now sort of beginning to turn around the victory point advantage slowly, though he Reckon is still very much in the lead versus Smiley. Stu anti-tank is just barging forward through the centre here. Seems a bit clumsy there by Smiley, to be honest, but there you go. Almost got the section, there you go. Wipes Cromwell, Comet flanking, 6-pounder gun down, there you go. Pack 40 going there, Pack front unleashes hell on the Comet. Forcing it away, saving the Osprey once more, which is now really, really close to Virginity 2. Eventually 2 on the Vickers, almost 52 on the Osprey, which will get an increased rate of fire, which will make it a lot more lethal. Nothing happening in the base of the Smiley, yes, for Reckoner. A lot of stuff happening as well. We've got the Stu pushing it, need to be a bit careful though. Pack 4 is also advanced, you can see here. Smiley's being incredibly aggressive now. He's just trying to make as many gains as he can. In this regard, Smiley's lack of mindset is definitely aiding in the German army in this pursuit. Had he just laid down mines, Smiley would be punished severely for this. In particular, he's got no minesweepers, but because Reckoner is, in most cases, actually not mining that much, it's giving him something to work with, though he's still suffering losses there. The infantry's not, like the Ostrom, are not particularly good at supporting this style of advance. Need a much more sort of methodical set-piece sort of style of warfare to sort of really work with this out. But there you go, section almost right by mortar and Ostrom fire. Super close there to Virginity 2. Direct hit from the from mortar, which did nothing. Which, of course, would have happened since it's technically an open-top tank. You know, direct hit from a mortar, they would basically just kill the gunners and probably set off the rest of the tank. There's some munitions went off. Or at least left the driver feeling very lonely. My God, are you all right up there? Hello. Ah, scheiße. And I'd prepared such nice birthday presents for you. I won't be able to use them. Firefly on the way there for Reckoner. Ranking points here. But this Smiley somewhat seems to have stabilised the situation. Of course, he's still behind on map. But he's actually got a decent armoured fleet. And of course, he still has a pack front there. But the Russians were very quick to catch up on this. I don't think the Allies, the Western Allies, sort of ever invested into it. Pack 40, Ostrom, good to go. A lot faster than the Comet, almost taken out there again with the pack front and a Stu supporting. Shots bouncing off the Comet. Panther 4 down. Panther 4 down. Cromwell now moving into the pack front there. It seems tactically very headless there. Might have misclick. And Cromwell goes down. Almost survived there, but got taken out the remaining hit. Land match is fine, taking out one of the pack front's anti-tank guns. Osman there, Virginity 2, which increases rate of fire, but also its anti-aircraft capabilities. But it's really the rate of fire increase you want on it. Commander's almost wiped out. Just push through the centre there. Smiley hammering his way through. Like a German trying to get into a house. Hinterhoch! You're not getting in here, Jerry! Aha! I knew there was a Tommy in here. Oh, shit. Grenadiers pushing through the south. Ostman there. Stug moving ahead. Close to 2 on that Stug. So good. Mortar might be pushing a bit too far ahead. I think he's going to try and take out the mortar. Oh, mine goes off there. Section pushing in. Bit chaotic advance here from Smiley. Trying to dodge all the rockets as all this is happening. But he's just seeking to extend the front as much as possible. He wants to push Reckon onto the defensive here. He wants to gain some territory and he'll force him, to have to attack a bit more, perhaps recklessly. But it's a bit more reckless as well there from Smiley. He could consider another Stukin, I think, with the Comet and the Firefly. Another Stukin should probably be his best priority, plus some Panzer Grenadiers. So he really needs some infantry to sort of take on the British infantry better, because the Ostrom are really only good at sort of just taking points and holding ground, grabbing weapons. They're not going to be able to fight against, virtually 3 commandos with light machine guns, or virtually 3 sections with light machine guns, not commandos. Good lord, these new commandos are amazing! Look, stop doing that! Put him down before he snaps your neck! Alright, it's just a joke. They're Irishmen. They have no sense of humour. Only ill-tempered alcoholism and potatoes.
Damned enemies trying to take a point from us.
Panzers on the way there for Smiley.
RE sappers reporting in.
Long mortar fire. That mortar's definitely paid itself off, I think, decently there for Reckoner. Up north, we got the Comet striking. Machine gun, though, are not really could use some Ostrom for that. They could also just had some Ostrom lay down a machine gun bunker to defend the north. Firefly landing good here on the Ostrom. Again, Vetchi too, quite nice to see. If you can get to Vetchi 3, that'd be amazing for Smiley. I mean, a Vetchi 3 Ostrom is actually really, really good at murdering infantry. Surprisingly good. It's just the trick is getting it there in the first place. That's the big challenge of the Ostwind. He's rather pushing his luck there versus the Firefly. Rather pushing his luck. Unit wipe them mortars. Down to 1 Ostrom squad again. He really should go for some Panzer Grenadier. He should also, of course, fix the Ostwind really, really fast. Pack wiped. Commanders almost wiped as well. Northern victory point being stolen away here by the sappers. With Bren light machine guns. I mean, he's not to try using, say, advanced cover combat, at least more sections out there, but he's just floating so much. He's just floating so much, so consistent in terms of munitions. I mean, the other resources he's using more efficiently, but his munitions, I definitely feel like Reckoner could work a bit on utilising better. Ostwind halfway to Veteran 3. I'd love to see that one hitting Veteran 3. That would just be amazing. Got a 6-pounder gun there, crewed by German Ostrom pulling ahead there. Stu Pendle moving ahead, going for the Firefly. Pretty risky move there. As the Firefly does have the range advantage, there you go. Comet flanking, 6-pounder gun sitting up there. Commanders in the centre Ostwind, they're going to fire down on them. Though they do get a bit of light cover bonus, but that shouldn't matter too much for the Ostwind. There we go, almost got them. Almost got them, but they get away once more. He's going to need another Stuke here. He's down to just a single-handed tank gun and a Panzer IV versus a Comet and a Firefly. This is going to be highly risky for Smiley. This is really where things can easily go very, very wrong. Very, very fast. There you go, the Ostwind's getting spotted here. Needs to blitz. Blitz. Get the devil out of there. I think he actually managed to catch the Firefly though with a mine there, basically setting it off. But he's going to lose the Ostwind. He's too slow. There might also be some pathing complications. But no, he gets away with the Ostwind. He gets away with it. 100 points left here. Almost got the Comet. Panzer IV though is almost down as well. Section's almost taken out here. There we go. Wiped by the Ostwind. 17 kills. Almost fetching 3 there. Smiley and Reckon are barely holding on. This is getting increasingly, chaotic as both players are turning into this sort of punch-drunk state where they're sort of just pummeling each other a bit more randomly. And there you go, he's just beginning to use advanced cover combat. I mean, he doesn't have any units that benefit from it. He's got no infantry sections left. Like, commanders and sappers don't benefit from it, though. Once the update goes up, they will. But for now, they don't. So at this point, I mean, Reckon is just hitting buttons to an extent there because he's not sure what to do in the 7. I think Smiley's also there, though he really should go for some Pentagon. He's just more infantry overall. You also need to get his pioneers to prioritise thickening his army, particularly the Austrian. I mean, the Austrians is really increasingly what's keeping Smiley in this fight, because he's just laying down such a hurt on Reck and his infantry. And of course in his pack front tactics, never underestimate the pack front. Panther 4 needs to roll back. They would be ashamed to lose it. Quick blitz. Ooh, close one. Stuka arriving, pack 40 arriving. Firefly veteran need 2 grabbing the northern points there. Machine gun recruit here with Osttruppen once more. South victory point open here for Reck and just have steal away, not sneal away. I'm trying to sneak, steal, and somehow come to the magical word sneal. He snow that man's snocket money. Oh, shut up, Jeremy. Comet moving in there with its 77mm gun, which was basically just sort of a designation to avoid confusion, because it was the same caliber 17-pounder gun, but it was a smaller gun with slightly different ammunition, so they weren't quite compatible. So to avoid any confusion there, the gun and its ammunition were designated 77mm. Second Comet out here for Reck, and this is going to be a real problem there for Smiley. Stu, pack 1 moving ahead here. He's going to try and catch them in a pack front. He's basically anticipating the next big fight's going to be up in the north here. Panther 1 must gun, push from the centre. Firefly Vickers. Brave artillery called in. Section attacking. Chrome trying to flank in. Catching the pack front off guard. Very good work. Caught the machine gun though with it, so there's too much going on there for him. So he actually got the machine gun there. That's actually a small tactical victory there for Smiley. He's down to 85 victory points, resurrection is 238. Far from the pack front. Osman moving in again, super close. If he takes a hit from the Firefly. Until they're almost taking out the Firefly. Oh, Scheisse. Panther 4 moving in. Osman. Oh, almost getting the commanders. They're also almost veteran T3. And almost ace Ostwind. He's trying to catch the commanders on retreat. Panther 4 moving in. Shots fired. Turning its targets on the land mattress. Firefly down to just 2 comets who've not been seen. They'll be too busy up in the north there. Now trying to flank. We got the pack front covering the flank. There's Stu almost going to go down. Ostwind veteran 3. It's an ace. Panther 4 veteran 2. Comet there getting focused down. The second Comet's not moving in. He's 2 folks trying to clear up there. I think Reckoner's getting extended. Ah, got the Stuke! Got the Stuke! Didn't get the Comet. I'm going in there. No, don't! Oh, Scheisse! Tactical mistake there for Smiley. He's going to lose the Panzer 4 as well. Oh, what a waste, what a waste. He's down to just the Osman now. And his opponent's got 2 comps, of course. On the other hand, he's barely got any troops. And that means he either has to focus on repairing the tanks to get up the entire front, because most of his force is now composed of sappers. So right now, Reckon has run into an issue with his force composition. Ostrom out here for Smiley. Field could just try and rush the field with them. They'll really think you should go for some Panzer Grenadiers still. But another Stug on the way, they're fixing up the Ostrom Flak Panzer. I mean, if he can just catch any of the sappers and whatnot, that would certainly hurt Reckon more, who's now going for a Centaur anti-aircraft tank, ready to challenge the Ostwind. Of course, he's also got this one. He's got plenty of munitions, obviously. That sort of allows him to use the sappers more freely for other duties, but even then... Pack front ready in the centre, though this might block the line for a bit. Got the Veteran 3 commanders from far from the Veteran 3 Ostwind. "21 kills for the Fatherland on the ace. Another Stug out there for Smiley. He's had a lot of Stugs out. Heading for the south, going to push about the sappers. Light machine gun fire there, certainly trumping flamethrowers and Sten guns. Quick, get a wipe there. Oh! A wipe that would be bad for Reckoner. He's so close. Gets the wipe, gets the wipe. He's down to just 2 sections now But one of those commandos. 33 kills, by the way. Up north centre, they're striking through. He needs to sneak in some, I think, some Ostrom to harass the southern victory points, everything going on there. And he's going to probably have to launch a counter-attack into the north. But of course, that means the centre's going to be exposed to another push here. There's a lot to do. He's probably consider laying down some S-mounts with the Pioneers. Machine gun holding up the infantry there. Armour moving in. Ostrom, Stuk, anti-tank also. Centre those now really vulnerable. There's a comet push here from Reckoner. Really vulnerable. But there you go. Catching the centre. Oh, Sappers could be next. He's all going for a fresh Sapper section. 22 kills. Comets are not moving. I feel like Reckoner is just at his wit's end. Like, he just feels like he's way beyond the point where he can sort of make efficient decisions. Like, his endurance has expired. His will tattered. Whereas Smiley's still able to sort of make reasonably effective decisions. He's not being, shall we say, hurt by this prolonged game. There you go. Veteran fleet commanders down. Sappers almost wiped out. He's down to just 2 comets with still effective weapons, but without the infantry, you can't really do anything against the victory points or a lot of the support weapons. And a Bren gun was dropped there. Look, I have a light machine gun. I'm free. That's not how it works. Don't say that near the Germans or they'll shoot you. Common there going to get panzer-fasted. More land matches. I definitely feel like that's a terrible mistake at this point for Reckoner. I mean, I could be proven wrong. It does not feel like the most optimal choice there. Still going to take things southward to help deal with the comets. We're actually rolling away. Northern victory holding attack. We've still got the machine gun there hiding up. Nicely positioned there by Smiley. Make a bit harder there for Reck to sort of outmaneuver and catch off guard. Self-repairs going on at a critical junction, I think. Not looking good. Graham the southern field point as well. Smiley's actually managed to turn this game around. And calling it on the land, or the Morton placement, not the land matches, the Morton placement. Tank moving about there. Oh, he's not bracing. I don't think he's aware what's going on. The smoke might have actually obscured what's going on there. He's just preoccupied with other things. Comet starting straight through the anti-tank gun lines. And the Stu. Grenade off from the Comet. Almost gets back 40. Mortar down. Comet down. Over this, I think it's GG. I do not think Reckoners, there's got much chance to get back here. So there you go. Game over. Oh. Right, there we go. Game over. GG. A loss here for the British Army. The 11th Armour Division, despite initial successes, were not able to sort of fully capitalise on them. Were worn down by aggressive German tactics, including a highly efficient pack front, tearing apart his tanks and sort of slowly by that way putting through to greater victory for the German army. So, some interesting openings there from both players. Overall, Smiley, I think, played a sort of definitely a highly unusual Wehrmacht strategies if things went on. Going for late Ostrom doctrine, going for the Ostroben. Austrians will actually make really good use of their Stuks, but the pack front really, I think, sort of thing that really pulled through it, because Reckoner clearly wasn't anticipating the pack front. He was starting sort of to counter it, which really cost him a lot of armor and allowed Smiley to sort of push ahead slowly, gaining a few kills and just weighing down Reckoner as the Austrian then sort of dealt with the infantry. So some very interesting choices there from both players, but in the end, Smiley's choices were not just more interesting, they were also more effective. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send in a replay and provide some feedback in the comment section. And this is Imperial Linking. Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all tomorrow for another stunning episode. Bye.